Well, hey there, welcome back to the Toy Box. This is going to be a pretty quick video. All we have to do tonight on the beer project is transfer the beer from the primary fermenter into the secondary fermenter. It'll stay in the secondary for about 2 weeks and then we'll bottle. So let me quickly go over what I'm going to show you and then you'll see how it's done. So here we have the beer. It has been in this primary fermentation vessel now for about a week and a day. As you can see here, the yeast has finished fermenting. It has all dropped from the top down to the bottom, and we've got a nice yeast cake down here at the bottom. It's probably an inch and a half or so thick in here. I know it's probably hard to tell in the video, but it's got a nice yeast cake down there on the bottom. For a IPA, the color is looking really fantastic here to me, so I'm really happy about that. And in a little bit here, I'll get to taste just a little bit of this as I'm doing the transfer. We're going to move it from this glass container here into this one. And to do that, I have a siphon pump here. You can see. And we'll use this siphon pump and some vinyl tubing. And we'll just siphon it out of here into there. And in the process, I will take a little bit of a sample and we'll use that to check our gravity readings. And I'll also taste a little bit just to see how it's coming along. So as always, we must sanitize everything. So we're going to let this run for a little while. About 10 minutes or so of running the sanitizer through this. We should be in good shape. And while that runs, I'm going to go ahead and sanitize the siphon pump and the hose. I'm not going to show you that part because it's something I can't do while I'm holding the camera, but I'll be back with you here shortly once those are ready and we'll start the transfer. Everything is now spick and span and clean and we are ready. I'm going to pump the siphon pump and get this started. It's going to run down the tube and into the other fermentation vessel. If I get back, you can see, you're way back. So here we go. I had to put the camera down to pump this. It is now siphoning. You can see the beer flowing through and down here into the other vessel. And this will run until it's empty. Something I do need to do though is catch a sample. So I'm going to catch a sample here in this tiny little beer taster glass. And again, this is something that I need 2 hands to do, so I'm going to have to put down the camera. So while that's running, we can see here, nice beautiful color. As you can see, when it's in the fermenter, there's a lot more beer in there, so the color looks a lot darker, but when it's in the glass, you can see the nice color here. I think this is going to be a pretty tasty beer. There's some floaties you can see here. That's the entire point of moving everything from the primary to the secondary fermenter, is to help clarify the beer. So in the secondary vessel, a lot of these solids will settle down to the bottom, so when we're ready to bottle, most of that stuff will have settled out and shouldn't be too bad when we go to open it up and pour a glass when it's ready. So if you're wondering, my handy dandy coffee stir stick is to take a sample out of here and dab it onto the plate on the refractometer here and get the gravity readings. I'll do that here in just a little bit. It's coming along nicely. Good hop flavor. I think this is going to be really good. So you got to see Chris using this in the first video. Again, since I need 2 hands for that, you won't see me actually using this, but I will report back on the numbers shortly. All right. So my reading here was Brix 6.4. I don't think that is too terribly bad. Actually, that's pretty good. We started out at 15 and we're down to 6.4. One of the previous beers we did recently started at 13, came down to a 7, and that one ended up at a 5.33%. So this one is looking like it's going to come in, I'm going to guess just off of this, off the top of my head, 5.5 or so, maybe. So I think we're right on target where we should be with this. So the siphon just finished, and we are all down here in the secondary fermenter now. I need to get the airlock on here, and just like we did before, so we'll put our airlock in here, a rubber stopper, and this handy dandy doodad. There we go. So I will take this back downstairs where the temperature is a little bit cooler in the house, and once I get it down there, I will fill this up with water, and we'll put the little airlock piece down inside here. We'll put the cap on, and we'll tuck it back in for another 2 weeks. So I've got it down in the basement. I'll put the pieces of the airlock on here, snap on the lid, and we're going to tuck it back in. And you may be wondering why I bother to cover this up. This is to keep the light, especially sunlight, ultraviolet light, away from the beer while it ferments. It keeps you from having certain reactions and things that you don't want in the beer. Having your beer exposed to sunlight, ultraviolet light while it is fermenting can actually cause off flavors in the beer. So that's something we pay attention to here, and it's easier just to cover it up than to chance it, even though this is down my basement and probably not going to be in direct sunlight or anything like that. Well, that's it for this step. The beer is in the secondary for the next 2 weeks, and we will revisit it when it's time to bottle. I'm excited about this one. Tasty beer. Looks like it's coming in about 5.5%, which is right exactly where we were anticipating this one would. I haven't actually run the numbers yet, but based on past beers that we've done, I think that's where we're going to be. So I can't wait. And we will make another video on bottling day. That one's a bit of a process, so you'll get to see some more toys then. Until next time, have fun and go play with your toys.